Yo, what's up guys, hope you're good. We're back here now with a brand new video in AOR. And yeah, it's been a long time since the last upload, but here we are now, this time in Italy. Round 12 I believe this is, so only 4 rounds to go in AOR now. And yeah, looking good. In practice, didn't do much practice, but when I did it, it was feeling really good. Like, the pace was decent, and as you can see, the setup we're going through now, 4 free wings. And yeah, the car was feeling good, so I went out on the soft tyres to just basically put a lap in on the softs, and preferably only do one, but if I do two that wouldn't be too bad, because the tyre deck on these tyres are not too bad, especially in quali. So yeah, just turning off Jeff now and going for the lap, coming across the line now to open DRS on the main straight, getting ready for turn 1 where you usually want to brake. It's just off the 150 meter board, and braking nicely into turn 1 there, missing the apex, and that's definitely cost us a bit of time. But yeah, just trying to get a feel of the track as well, really. Just try and put in a good lap, and hopefully it'll be enough. But 21.6, it's okay. It's pretty average, I must say, because I felt like I could have done a bit more than that. So went out, went carried on and just put in another lap, tried to put in another lap, missed the apex on the second corner there. We nailed the first part, the second part wasn't too bad. Ahead of us we have Alonso, my brother, who will be giving me some slipstream hopefully, but this wasn't planned at all, so that's nice of him to hold back and give me some slipstream. Gained about half a tenth into sector 1 there, and so far about a tenth up on my time coming to Lesmo 1. Felt like I lost a bit of time here in the first lap, so I gained another tenth there into Lesmo 2, going a touch wide, and that's going to cost us a bit of time. I felt like I could have gained another half a tenth through there, because I was just going cautious on my first lap. So yeah, pretty much stayed with the same time through there into Ascari, only about, that's like nearly 2 tenths up out of the Ascari chicane, now 2.5 tenths up, only the last corner to go, coming up to Parabolica. Anything like 21.3, 21.4 would do. So this is nice that we're up on our time through Parabolica now, trying to stay within the track, going as wide as possible, maximising the track, coming across the line about 2.5 tenths up. What is it going to be? A 21.4, and that will do nicely. I'll take that, especially early in the session. Just nice, 21.4 on soft tyres, it's really nice, and I think that's pretty close to what I did on the soft tyres last season, and that was towards the end of the session. So yeah, track evolution is a massive thing here, and as you can see, still top, but only 3-4 minutes to go. We stayed in the pits for as long as possible, just check the times, and as you can see, we're lining up 5th at the moment, with pole lap, or current pole lap, being about 21.0, 21.1. So yeah, still in 5th place. I felt like on the supers, because in practice I was setting 20.6s, 20.7s in practice, and as you can see, we're actually giving a slipstream to Alonso now, returning the favour. Again, this wasn't planned at all, so yeah, just going by the flow. But yeah, I felt like if I can put in a decent lap on these tyres, I can start pole, and that'll be nice around here, just to get an early start and a clean start. So yeah, coming round now, as you can see, Alonso set 20.9, so that's a great time. We need to beat that, and that's going to be hard, especially under circumstances in AOR. It's always hard to replicate your personal best. And into turn 1, slight lock up, cost us a bit of time on the exit. You can see we've gained a tenth, even though we made a mistake into turn 1. We've actually gained, but that just shows how much time we lost on the soft tyres. I felt like the second corner I didn't do it as nicely, but yeah, coming now to finish sector 1, about a tenth up on our time, nicely through the chicane. But I felt like sense of speed there, felt like I went a bit too slow through the chicane. As you can see, it's about a tenth up through Lesmo 1, nearly 2 tenths up, gaining more time through there just from pure grip on these tyres. And now you can see 2.5 tenths, and by not actually taking the exit curb on the left there, we gained a bit more time. So yeah, a few mistakes on the soft laps. As you can see through this lap, you can see how much time we're gaining through those mistakes. The Scar chicane wasn't too nice, I didn't manage to hit the first apex, and we've dropped down like to 1.5 tenths now, just clearly not a great lap at all. So at this point I was trying to calculate where this would put me, where 21.2 or 21.1 would put me, and by the time I figured it out, it was too late. I actually proceeded to slow down to start on the soft tyres, and I crossed the line to start on these tyres. I've beat a soft lap, and that's just absolutely gut wrenching, because if my lap wasn't going to be a pole lap, I wanted to start P5 on softs. I just wanted to start on softs. It was pole or fifth for me, and you can see there 200ths. Like if I just slowed down about 5 meters earlier, I would have been fine. But now we're going to start on super softs, and not only we're going to start on super softs, we're actually going to start where we were going to start anyway, in 5th place. So we gain absolutely nothing from it. We've actually lost. But looking at standards now, you can see us 83 points ahead of Martin, and he won't be taking part in this race, so that pretty much confirms us as the season 13 champion. And it's nice to have won another championship in AOR. I felt like I've done enough of a performance. I felt like I've put in consistent performances ever since round 1, picking up podiums every race so far this season. So I feel like I have deserved this championship, and it's just nice to battle against drivers like Martin and Lee. But here we have to switch on to the race. 5 lights. There's lights out, away we go. It looks like Surprise got a bit of a poor start. Not sure if it's lag start or not, but we are ahead right now, up into 4th already. Looking for the round down to turn 1. We stay on the inside, brake early, just to not break our wing. I'm happy to lose this place to Surprise, but I just don't want to break my wing early on in this race. The front wing, you have to keep it fully intact. And yeah, right now we've actually just stayed in 4th now, and knowing that it's going to be a dry race, I just turn off the drift straight away. Got no time for him, because once he talks through mid corners, your engine sound actually goes down. So yeah, that's massively off-putting, and I only need him when it's about the weather forecast or whatever. So yeah, straight away turn him off, and now we have to focus on catching down these guys ahead. And yeah, at this point I actually forgot about everything from qualifying, like the disappointment of starting on super softs and just bottling it right at the end there. We had to put that away, and I felt like I did. And at this point I just cleared that out. That's a different story. This is another story, and just have to focus on winning this race. And that's something you guys should actually consider if you struggle mentally in terms of qualifying a race. You have to remember that points are won in the race, so you just have to clear it all out and just go fresh into the race. And right now you can see Orca lagging a bit, so I pull to the right just to avoid the lag, and he just pulls back to the right, and I pull back to the left. I have no plans to overtake just yet, because he's lagging, and just giving maximum space. But as you can see, lagging mid corner as well there, bit of a jump back. And yeah, at this point I wasn't too fast at all. Right now I just wanted to save my tyres, save my fuel, and just stick behind these guys until there's a clear chance, and well, basically until the lag stops as well, because I know that first few laps all the cars lag. It's not just one guy that lags, but yeah, normally all the drivers lag in the first lap. And yeah, Orca being from America as well, surely I have to consider that and just try and leave space and just like not take in a race early on. It's just lap 2. There's like 25-26 more laps to go. As you can see, Orca weaving a bit on there, not sure what that's about, but he also took the inside line into Ascaria again. I don't know why he did that. He could have just took the racing line, but either way, we have got a good run on him now, thankfully, and we've got the DRS, not DRS, we've got the slipstream. Guys ahead waving about and coming into parabolic now, just on the outside, leaving a lot of space on the inside for him there, and again just leaving about a car's width there. And again, pretty nice battle with him. Shame we didn't get to have that in Spa, but here we are now on the main straight. Alonso's giving us a slipstream, and we are ahead of Orca now, up into 3rd place. And it looks like he's braked early for turn 1, because I'm sure he doesn't want to break his front wing either. And right now, as you guys might have seen in the mirror there, them two actually had a desync incident, which is something I had in ULC once, and it's just awful really. It's happened in AOR a few times last season as well. And yeah, that's a real shame for them two, both for Surprise and Orca, because they were rapid, as you saw in qualifying. They were pretty rapid too. So to have that in a race, it's just pure like it's just bad luck, and it's just awful to have really practice ages for these races and then it gets wiped away just like that. It's just not great at all, but we have to focus on the race now. On lap 3 now, and you can see Lucky Dog in 4th place, so he's doing a good job as well on those super soft tyres, and there's a gap between him and so the driver in 5th place. Not sure who that is, but only 12 drivers turning up today is just not great at all, to be honest. And if I'm completely honest, I'm quite disappointed in the drivers that didn't turn up, because you sign up to race in AOR, you should turn up. There's no, unless you have personal reasons, then you have no excuse, you have to turn up. And to see people not turn up because they can't be asked to race this certain track, or they're on a pad and don't like, and it's not fun on the pad and stuff, that's just not enough of an excuse. If you didn't enjoy the game on the pad, why'd you sign up in the first place? Like, that's what you have to consider, and it's just not good in my opinion. Fizzy and Wyckoff spent ages making his highlights, so yeah, that's just not great at all. 12 drivers out of what, 20, it's not good. But focusing on the race now, Finch ahead, trying to make a challenge on Alonso. It looks like these two guys have got good pace at the moment, and right now we were in same party chat, and we had to work as a team because we knew that there were guys like Reversal and Jason on a one-stop strategy. Especially Jason, he started on the medium tyres, so he'll definitely be going for a medium soft strategy. And keeping that in mind, we just had to work as a team. If we battle too much, then it gives Jason a very good chance, and maybe even a few other guys if they're one-stopping as well. But on to lap 5 now. We're in the slipstream of Finch and Alonso, and just not really putting Rich at all. We just not need to battle at the moment. Just have to pit and just get a good run out of the pits, and just hope to have clean air so we can put in decent laps into the pits. Really cautious by me, just not want to take any risks at the moment. And looking at it now, that's Reversal in the lead on the soft tyres. And where's that? Is that Jason? Yep, there it is. Jason 9th there on the medium tyres. Williams on the medium tyres. I think he hit. But yeah, Jason actually had a incident at the start, which cost him a bit of time. I think 7-8 seconds. But looking at this now, actually, that's us ahead of Finch now. We've jumped Finch, and we've also jumped Alonso. And Alonso's dropped way down. He's lost a lot of time in the pits there. And actually, I've watched his footage. He had a 7-second pit stop. I think it was 7.7, something like that. But he didn't even change his front wing on. He's just a pure, like, just pit stop alone. And I'm checking race director now because I'm so confused. And he's right behind Lucky Dog in 9th place. So he's been jumped by me, Finch, and Lucky Dog. And Lucky Dog wasn't even that close to us. He's about 2-3 seconds behind. So that's just, yeah, just Cody's being AIDS again. GG Cody's, get the hashtag out. And yeah, that's just not on. Like, being in the lead and you come out, what, 4 or 5 places behind of what you were just because of the pit stop. No, that's just not acceptable at all, and it's just pure AIDS. You just can't have that in league race. I know Falcon had that in Spa last season, and yeah, just not great at all. That needs to be fixed. But switching on to race now, bit of ranting, but you know, it's just the game is just, I don't know, man. Just anyway, switching to the race now. Lap 7, coming through sector 2 now. We're about 5/10 up on our time. Looks like these medium tyres are doing pretty good for us, and the strategy here was going to be a super soft, medium, soft, or super soft, medium, depends when do you want to use the medium or the softs. And coming into Parabolica now, at this point I felt like this was a solid lap by me. I felt like I gave it absolutely everything and felt like a lap just on the limit. So to see Finch right behind me, I was like quite surprised, and I set 23.6 there. Saw Finch with the slipstream and DRS, so I just let him pass. No point battling again because Jason and Reversal on a one stop, it seems. No point battling, just costing us time. So I'll sit behind him and just see what he can do on this lap. And I was just hoping he put in a good lap because we need to catch the guys ahead. We can't afford to lose any time. And this was when I was going to realise if he actually had the pace or not. Put in Rich now, DRS, and we already caught him mid-straight. Just shows how powerful the slipstream is. And coming into sector 2 now, we're 5/10 down on my time, so we're losing time at this moment, and I was not happy, to be honest, at all. I wasn't happy at this point because I felt like we're losing more time than we should have. We're not even battling, so yeah, that's not great at all. Current to Parabolica now, taking the outside line just to leave a bit of a gap between us, and just not really, there's no point. Like, as long as I have the slipstream now down to turn 1, I'm fine, and already caught it mid straight again. You can see we're 6 tenths down that lap, 24.2, so we did the lap 6 tenths slower than the lap I did before, and I had no slipstream that lap either. So yeah, I mean, I felt like at this point when I overtook him, I just put my head down and just put in rich and just tried to put in a good lap to catch up to Jason, because you can see how far ahead he is right now, and he only has to stop one more time as well, just like us. So at this point I just gave it everything. We already got a bit of a gap to Finch, but I'm sure he'll close that down with the DRS and slipstream. And coming to sector 2 now, looking at the sector time, I'm actually 2 tenths up on my time, so it looks like when I've clean air, I'm much faster. That's what it felt like at the time anyway, and putting in decent laps at the moment. Tyres looking good, and you can see Finch closing us down into Parabolica. So I'm not sure if he was just using standard or lean when he was ahead of us or not, but like, going by what he set when he was ahead of me, 24.2, that was pretty much just slower, but when he's behind it looks like he's keeping up. And I set a 23.5 there, again another personal best, and these times coming in now, these are the times we need to catch Jason now. These are the exact times we need to just make up the time from the 1 stop to 2 stop deficit. So yeah, right now we have to keep on putting these laps in, and it felt like I was faster than Finch at this point. No offense to him, but it just felt like I was faster than him. It's just frustrating to not be able to like open the gap, but at the same time I wasn't too fast because Finch is a friend of mine. As we go wide there, and yeah, that's a mistake by me, hands down. Oh, really bad mistake, and now Finch goes through. But yeah, going back to the point, I didn't really feel too angry about it because it's Finch, and Finch, like, he's really unlucky this season, so he deserves good performances. So if it's him behind me, then I'm not too fast, but just not being able to open the gap because of slipstream in the DRS is just frustrating. As you can see, look how powerful the slipstream is. I'm overtaking him mid-straight. It's just not acceptable in my opinion. Like, slipstream should be only worth about, I don't know, like 3, 4, maybe 5 tenths, depends how long the straight is, but that is just unacceptable. Passing someone mid-straight is just not on. Yeah, again, coming on lap 13 now. Car ahead is Jason, so we actually closed the gap down now, and looks like Finch is closing us down, but I'm pretty sure he's just backing out right now because he knows we've caught up to Jason, and yeah, he's just backing out. But yeah, I've not actually asked Finch personally, despite how much we speak personally. I've not actually asked him if he was just using lean or something when he's behind me, because through Lesmo 1 and 2 it felt like I was open the gap, but he would close it back down on these straights right here. So I think he was using lean or something in sector 1 or 2. But here we are now, passing Jason up to P1 and through the Tuscari chicane, a bit wide there, just carrying much more speed than we did, and we didn't have the optimal line in Tuscari either. So yeah, line okay, but looks like Finch is going past Jason now into Parabolica, and looks like he's up to second place. So we've made that time back up to Jason. We're up to P1 and 2 again, and I don't think Alonso's too far away. He's at Parabolica now, but he's lost a lot of time just from that pits alone. He's lost a lot of time, and you see Finch now again, a much better run on us, and he's already gone past us before the braking zone. We were going to move over back to the racing line, but I saw Jason there, and I just left him the space just so he's like front wing, he wouldn't brake or anything. And the last thing I want to do is just an illegal under braking move. So yeah, quite happy with that. Not too fussed that I didn't have the optimal line into the chicane, but it is what it is. I just don't want to break anyone's wing, to be honest. Like, Jason's done a hard job staying in third with the one-stop strategy, and he is in contention for the win at this point. Oh, that was close. That was really close. Yeah, by the time I was bricking it, but looking back at it now, that was pretty close. And yeah, up to P1 now. But you can just see, like, it's just a game of chess right now. Whoever overtakes who on what straight, it's just guaranteed overtakes. And our tyres are going off now. We're switching to the softs. We're putting on the softs, and it's time to pit now. Final pit stop on the soft tyres. You can see reversal in third there on the soft tyres. and I actually thought he's going to do one stop, but he actually pit for another set of softs, so that pretty much confirms that people doing a 2-stop strategy. You can see Finch very close to us in the pit there, and now we're coming to the pit box. We're going on to the soft tyres, and where did we come out now in comparison to Jason? I believe Jason pit a few laps ago, so it'll be interesting to see where we come out in comparison to him. 2.3 second pit stop, that's not too bad. And coming out the pits now, I think that's Jason on the minimum out there. Coming down into turn 1, he's on the outside lane, Finch on the inside for the pit lane exit. Into the chicane, pretty nice then. Looks like Jason's ahead now, so this is our best chance to open the gap to Finch. It's our best chance. As long as Jason doesn't let him through soon, I feel like I could have opened the gap and put into Rich now and just put into Santa into chicane. Just make sure to go nice for the chicane. That was pretty nice. And coming out the chicane now, Jason's still right behind. Finch also right behind him. So coming through Lesmo 1 now, keeping a Rich just to like maximize everything, just everything through the sector 2 now. Just have to maximize everything, and still in Rich, and looks like we've got a massive gap to Jason now, but Finch will have the DRS on Jason. I think Jason will have DRS on me because he was in a 1 second, he was within 1 second at the DRS detection point. You can see 5/10 to Finch right now, and the rest was like 15 seconds ahead, and it looks like that gap looks way more than 5/10 to me. I felt like I opened a lot through Lesmo 1 and 2, and then the Scary chicane as well. So coming to Parabolica now, I was like pretty happy with what I've managed to do in sector 2 and 3. And I come across the line now, 8% on the tyre wear front left. So it looks like that'll be, if we keep on doing that, it looks like it'll be enough to go to the end. And coming into turn 1 now, braking just off the 150 meter board. Nicely through there. I felt like I could have done a bit more through the turn 1 part, but I felt like overall the chicane was pretty nice. So it's looking good for us so far, and the only thing left to do now is just to try and put Finch out of the 1 second zone, just to get him out of our DRS. Coming to turn 1, end of sector 1 now, 9/10 up, 9/10 ahead of Finch right now, so we only need about a 10th to open through Lesmo 1 and 2 here. And coming into Lesmo 2 now, I felt like Lesmo 1 was pretty good. I felt like I maximised everything on the sector 2 right now, and looks like Finch is still within the same gap, but he still has DRS, he still has the slipstream. Surely that gap would just come down. Coming into Scary now, with 3/10 up on the fastest lap time, but the gap's just dropped from 9/10 to 5/10, and that was just demotivating. That was just, there's nothing worse than feeling in F1 if league racing than that. Like, I can only list a few, but like, to give everything on that lap, I'm talking about I felt like I did like a proper quali lap that lap, and the gap just to close like that through like DRS and slipstream, it wasn't nice at all. And 22.7, we actually opened the gap to 7/10 to the last sector. So yeah, it's just gut wrenching, and I'm not actually like blaming Finch at all, by the way. I'm not like taking digs at him. I felt like he put in a good performance this race, and not just the race, he's put in a good performance ever since Silverstone, and he deserves a win, he deserves a good result. So I'm not having a go at him, I'm just having a go at the game, because there's nothing you can do. If you're in someone's slipstream, you're in someone's slipstream. You're not going to just pull out of it because the game's too powerful with the slipstream. You're not going to do that. There's been a lot of times where I've been in someone's slipstream and then overtaken him in a few laps time. But when you're the car ahead and you're giving it absolutely everything, and you're just not opening the gap because the car behind just has a slipstream, it's just not acceptable at all. It's just, what's the point? It just gives you that question as to what's the point in even doing league racing. And like, for me, it wasn't too annoying, I guess, because I didn't practice too much for this race. But say if I did practice about 3-4 days for this race, and I practiced hours, and that happened, then yeah, I'd be extremely pissed off, just frustrated as well, because I mean, we're lucky to not have these, or we're lucky to not have had these in other races such as like China, Spa, where someone would just cling on to someone's back and just wait for the last lap or whatever. And you can see on the straight now, Finch is not even trying to go past, because he just knows he's smart, he's clever, and I would have done the same if I was him. Just wait until like last 3 laps and just go for the move then. So yeah, I'm not blaming him, by the way. He's a nice guy, he's a great driver, so yeah, nothing against him at all. But yeah, just saying that I personally felt like I could have opened the gap, but it is what it is. Now we've just dropped off the pace. You can see 1 second off the pace because we're both just saving our fuel and tyres at this point. And yeah, that's something few drivers haven't done in the past, especially when I was racing against Strees in it was Mexico, Canada, both seasons in Canada, where I felt like if he saved a bit of his tyres and his fuels like Finch has now, I felt like he could have possibly won in Canada both times and Mexico as well. But switching back to the race now, my plan right now in my head was just to do what I did in China to Martin. It's basically save the fuel on these last 2 laps and just go for rich for like 2 laps straight. That was my plan, and right now I'm still saving fuel. I've managed to get it back up to 0.80, and I think that's enough to run rich for the last 2 laps. So yeah, that was my plan at this point. Run rich on the straight now just to get a good run out of Parabolica. Switching to lap 26 now, you can see mid-lap we're in rich now, but the gap's pretty much still the same. We've not opened we've just opened nothing pretty much, and I'm driving my balls off at this point. I'm giving it absolutely everything, maximising the tracks here and there. Just couldn't open the gap really. Just pretty much like just all pointless. Whatever we do, like it's just pointless because it's just not gonna happen. And I felt like it could have been the same case in China, but in China I ran like so much lower wings than Martin, so made it much easier on the straights. But here I think me and Finch are running pretty much the same wing setup, and it's just not going to work. You can give it all, but it's just not going to work. I think Whitecombs and Limitless had the same battle in Bahrain season 12, where both I think Limitless just waited for the last lap to overtake Whitecombs. And you can see now Finch has got the RS slipstream, and surprise surprise, he's overtaken us on the last lap. And you can see just how much pace he was saving in those last like 7-8 laps or so. We're coming out the chicane now. Looks like we've got a decent run, and we're already right behind him, pulling to the left hand side through Curva Grande now, side by side. And for right now I just want to keep the inside line into the chicane, braking normally where I'd usually brake, and into the chicane now we go, and there's contact between us. Yeah, just the contact medal just shows how AIDS it is, and I felt like both of us gave each other enough room there. It was neither of our faults. Just yeah, again another game fault there. Just a shame really, because the whole like 26 laps it was building for that final lap, and it just went like that. And coming into the Scarish chicane now, Finch has kindly slowed down for us, so that's very nice of him. It wasn't his fault at all, but he slowed down anyway. But looks like we've got a decent run on him now into Parabolica. He's covering the inside, outside, inside. We pull back to the outside, going into Parabolica now. It's still side by side. Who's going to take the win now? It looks like both of us got a strong run out of that last corner, but it looks like he's slightly ahead. Coming across the line, do we gain enough? No, and Finch takes the win there, and that's his first win in AOR, so massive congratulations to him. Well deserved, and this has been a long time coming. Ever since Silverstone, it's been a long time coming. I felt like he's put in really good performances, not just in qualifying but also in the race, so that's actually deserved. And yeah, just like I said, it's been a long time coming. You can see Alonso leaving the party there. He's absolutely pissed off, I can tell you that. He was really annoyed with that, because just the pit stop alone just killed his race. I felt like he had the same pace as us, me and Finch. I felt like he could have been up there with us, and just a shame for him really. And Jason finishing 3.9 seconds behind us there. If he didn't have the incident at the start, who knows, maybe he could have won as well. I think he lost about 8 to 10 seconds at the start. So yeah, that is pretty much it for this race. Again, like, I'm not saying Finch didn't deserve that win, because it did. As I've said multiple times, he's deserved that win. But slipstream, DRS, and the contact model, it just needs to be like sorted, and I think it is sorted for next game. So just a case of how much it's sorted and how it's going to be. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this highlights, and I hope to get out. What's the next race? I think it was Japan. So I hope to get Japan out soon. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care. Bye.